Hello there, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to keep our company on Wellness and Living. My name is Thelma. You know how we like to do it. We like to come out, talk with you on the streets, and get to share in your views, and together we can be further enlightened. Today, we're taking a very close look at drug abuse, and this time, not from the medical professional's point of view. We'll be talking with a woman who has worked with drug addicts, as well as somebody who is on the heels of those who sell drugs and who have become a danger to our society, to our families, to our friends. And this is what Sheldon Whitehouse says. It says, drug addiction is a very tough illness, and those who took the path of recovery are making a very brave decision, and they deserve our support, our encouragement, and our admiration. And that's what we'll be sharing on the program today. But first off, let's come out and talk with you.
One thing is that they need rehabilitation. They need to be taken to a rehab center where they rehabilitate them, give them what they need. Some of them, you employ them, especially those ones in the garage, those ones that are living under the bridge. You take them from there, give them something that they can live on. Take them so that you can bring them back to the society. I think that's the best way to rehabilitate a drug addict.
If I have somebody that is a drug addict, I will not report him. I will only advise him and pray for him. Because even though you arrested him and take him to the police, they will still release him, and we will still go back to the drugs. So it's for me to offer prayer for him to change.
In most cases, at times, it could be as a result of frustrations. So when you want to address such, you want to tell them that they shouldn't maybe imbibe into such act. You come up with policies that at least we influence them and we motivate them to drop such acts. If you just want to descend heavily on them, telling them don't do it, without knowing the consequences and telling them the consequences and knowing the causes, you can't address it until you know the causes, the remote causes that maybe has made them to become a...
I will inform the social welfare. I think they are the one that is in charge of all those things. I will inform them. If I talk to the person, maybe as a brother or as a sister, and the person did not take to my advice, I will inform the social welfare they should come in and help the situation.
That if there is adequate education of the populace, all these things will be sorted out. We are only trying. We will try as human beings. But let me say one thing, as Vincent all over, charity starts from home. A great number of all these things starts with the parents managing their words properly, making that their children of good behavior. And I will dare say today, parents, don't send your children to go and buy cigarettes. Parents, don't send your children to go and be buying beer. I'm saying the truth.
It's always very interesting and enlightening to hear your thoughts and share them too. Some of the opinion that punishment is what they deserve. Some believe that rehabilitation is the best course of action. Whichever side of the divide that you belong to, what is important is that guardians and parents must identify warning signs early on and nip any form of addiction in the bud. Moving forward. I don't know Ken Hensley, but what he says is of great interest to me, especially at this time that we're talking about drug addiction. He's of the opinion that we cannot understand drug addiction except we've experienced it. And there's no better time than now to talk with somebody who has worked with drug addicts, drugs, the sellers, the buyers at different times and in different positions. Talking about Chinyere Obijiro. When we listen, indeed, we will learn.
All categories of people abuse drugs because we say it's no respecter of persons. However, the most vulnerable are young people. And in our society, we find that the young people from 12 to about 35 are most prone to drug abuse. And we also see these days that we're actually getting younger people than 12, people who are 7, 8, 9, 10, abusing substances. That's what we're finding out, and that's how to tell that this problem has really become a national epidemic. A lot of times you now have peer pressure that come in. The parental guidance might not be there because as young persons, you find that what we find is that the opinion of your peer and perhaps some people in school, could be your teachers, actually count more than your parents. And then you see that when people begin to abuse one kind of drug or the other, your parents now are not so enlightened. They are old school, they don't understand you. They don't know what time it is and what is happening. So you're looking at the people who you think are enlightened, and you want to emulate what you see on the television, what's going on in the social media. But what they don't realize is that that is not a reality. You take drugs, you're bold, you can, you belong to a certain group of people and all that. So that's what we see with young people. If you start with, even if it's alcohol, you go into maybe cannabis, you go into cocaine or syrups, and that is because you need more, because your body develops tolerance for these drugs. So you need more and more of it to achieve that level of high. It has gone beyond just you, because your action now affects a lot of other people. Your family is now involved, the society, your community, the society is involved. Young people in universities believe that when they take some of these drugs, they're able to study more. Unfortunately, by the time they dabble into it, and the problem now associated with it now come in, they are unable to finish their studies. We're losing a lot of our traditional values. Family life that as we knew it is being eroded every day. In the past, every child belonged to the community. It wasn't just your child. Your neighbor would discipline your child. These days, even your teacher talking to your child, the parent will go to the school and embarrass the teacher. When the problem now comes, we start running helter-skelter. We forget that some of this is as a result of our own action, most or inaction. And then we don't even have time for our children. We throw money at them. We're out the whole day. We leave the bringing up of children to house helps, nannies, and maybe other relations. Most times we don't even know who the friends of our children are. The consequences of drugs are numerous. Of course, it leads to fatality, death. That is the worst that can happen, which we don't pray for. But so many others in between, from distractions, the person has no motivation, you don't want to go to school, you don't want to work, the personal hygiene and general well-being of the person deteriorates. The person's health deteriorates because the drugs affect different organs of the body, including the heart, the kidney, the liver, what have you. So all this, you have your health, the health issues, you have the physiological effects, you have the psychological effect, all of it, coming together. Then you now have the economical aspect of it, because if you're supposed to be in school, you're supposed to be working, you can't work. So what happens? Man hours are lost, or the person, the ability of the person to finish school. Of course, education is truncated. What happens in a family? You have a lot of altercations in the family. We've had instances where children fight their fathers, their mothers, carry weapons, knives, whatever they find, cutlasses, actually inflict injuries on members of the family who maybe wants them to stop doing what they're doing, or stopping them from taking something to sell, or unable to provide for them the means to go and continue to fund their habits. A child that needs help needs help. Get the child professional help, get the child religious help, whatever help that child needs. Get the child help. Don't hide it in your house or your family. Hiding it does not solve the problem. It only covers it for a little while. And then before you know it, it is out of hands. You cannot cope. Young people had all kinds of activities. You will do sports. There were all those. Now, many children are in the house playing one game, indoor game or the other. So what do? They now experiment with all kinds of things. The National Drug Survey that was released last month by the government says that 14.3 million Nigerians abuse drugs. 14.3 million is almost 10%. It's between 8 to 9% of the total population of this country is abusing drugs. So that tells you that this is a huge problem and it is really worrisome. And we must do something about it.
John Zamat Zine says that all the suffering, all the depression, and all the illness that drug addicts and their families go through comes from the drug addicts not realizing that they are already what they are looking for. Perhaps this short package will throw more light on that, as well as the positive impact that these health tips will have on us. Little things like don't leave onions a day old and put it again in your stew or in your soup. Did you know that already? We'll tell you a lot more. Eat fruit on an empty stomach or before your main meal. In times past, we were advised by medical practitioners to eat fruits after our meal. Over time, it has changed. Now, medical professionals and researchers advise us to eat fruit on an empty stomach or before a main meal. Some people say when I eat watermelon, for example, I burp. According to Professor Ken Anugweje, this is because they do not eat fruits on an empty stomach. Professor Ken goes further to say that when you eat fruits after a meal, it mixes with other foods and putrefies and produces gas. Hence, you bloat. He's of the opinion that graying hair, balding, serious outbursts, and dark circles under the eyes will not occur as easily when fruits are eaten on an empty stomach. All fruits are acidic and become like alkaline in the body, according to Dr. Herbert Shelton, a researcher in the United States of America. Professor Ken Anugweje of the University of Port Harcourt further opines that when you eat fruit on an empty stomach and before meals, you prolong your life. You improve your health quality. You improve your energy level. You are joyful and you stay in great shape. Let's talk about fruits, especially fruits in and out of season. They all have benefits, health benefits that is. For example, watermelon. Watermelon contains potassium, lycopene, which is a cancer-fighting oxidant. It contains vitamin C. It boosts the immune system. It also contains glutathione. a major energy booster. Oranges, we come across them every day. They are affordable, they are accessible, and we can find them all year round. What do oranges do? Oranges lower our cholesterol level. Oranges dissolve kidney stones. When we take oranges often, we lessen the risk of colon cancer. We will tell you more about fruits and their enormous health benefits in our next package. There's this lady, I don't know her name, but I know that had someone discovered her much earlier on in her life, perhaps she'd be with the Super Falcons today and perhaps another big team. Talking about female football. Let's watch this. We're sure we'll learn something.
I'm going to Mugabaya. That's your dog, yes. Yes,
Hands down, shake it forward, shake it back. Okay, now, let's fold our hands, push it forward. The idea is to let this folded hand push your body forward. Stretch your body as much as you can. Just some stretches to make your limbs nimble. So now we swing our arms to the right. Hold it there for the count of 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The other side, we go to the left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's do some other stretches. Take your right hand to your left feet, to your left hand to right foot, and then right hand to left foot. Okay, so let's go. So we'll now turn. Now right hand to left. The other arm is up there. Hand is in the air. Let's now go fast. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. Okay. Are you feeling a bit light now? Okay. And also to get the blood pumping. It's not good to go from inactivity to activity without any warm-up. Okay, now for the meaty matter. You know what we call squats, right?
Yes.
These are squats. So, we're going to do like normal squats. Your hands up, forward. When you stand, it's going sideways like this. Okay. So let's try and do 15 reps. We pause for 3 seconds. Another 15. We pause for 3 seconds. And the last 15. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let your head and your back be straight. Don't tilt your body forward. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Fantastic. Shake our legs. Pause for 3 seconds each. Okay, so like this, hands up. You know jumping jacks now. Like this. Okay. You go. Okay? All right. So let's go. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. 3 seconds, shaker. It's often hard to believe and to note that addiction of any kind is a mental illness. And it's a challenge not just for the sufferer, but for everyone involved in his or her life. The family, the friends, will all have a role to play. And the most important role we should play is that of a positive support system. Sheldon Whitehouse puts it this way. He says that recovery is a very tough process. For someone to make up their minds and say, I want to stop this thing, it has a bad impact on myself, or my life, or my family. I want to make a positive change. They deserve our encouragement, our support, and if we want to spread it, our admiration as well. Be a part of our program, Wellness and Living, on our social media handle, Wellness and Living, at Nigerian Television Authority. We'd love to see you there. We've opened the doors of communication and looking forward to hear from you. My name is Thelma Obaze. I'd love to see you again. For now, it's